Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Krishna, Hare Krishna. Jaya Rama, Rama Rama, Kunja Bihari. Jaya Rama, Rama Rama, Kunja Bihari. Jaya Pad ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. So let's begin with Mangalacharna. Om Jnanatamirantasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobisham Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupaha Kadamani Dadati Swapadandigam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavasya Shri Rupam Sagrajata Sahaganam Pitam Tam Sajivam Sarvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sajim Krishna Chaitanya Deva Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahaganam Shri Vishakam Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nityanande Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prachani Nirvidesha Punyavadi Pashyatya Desaharine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Srivasadi Gaura Saktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. We'll continue study from Srimad Bhagavatam. So we are studying from Canto 1, Chapter 8, Prayers of Queen Kunti and Maharaj Parishit Sev. So this is a very wonderful chapter. We'll try to cover a few verses which will take us to a point where we'll begin the Kunti Maharaj prayer from next week. And today we'll start from verse number 8. So far we have seen in the last verse that we discussed that Krishna is now departing. He has, deactivated the Brahmastra, saved Pandavas, and then, all the last rites are performed. And now Krishna said, now I need to go. He has been there for quite some time, right? In Hastinapur, because of the war and all that. He was there for a long, long time. So he's missing his home also. So he's planning to depart. So let's see what is there in the verse number 8. These are very, very wonderful verses. There's a lot to learn from every verse that we are going to read today. So we'll try. Hare Krishna. Verse number 8. Gantum kritam te brahman Dvarakam ratham asthitah Lebhe vidavantim Tarambaya vihavalam. Translation.
Sure. Translation. As soon as he seated himself on the chariot to start for Dwaraka, he saw Uttara hurrying towards him in fear. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So here, Srila Prabhupada is saying that as soon as he was just getting into the chariot, what happened? Uttara came running. Right? So that's what is happening. So Prabhupada mentions in the purport by our beloved Gurudev, Esi Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. All the members of the family of the Pandavas were completely dependent on the protection of the Lord. And therefore, the Lord protected all of them in all circumstances. The Lord protects everyone. This is important. Please understand. Also, don't misunderstand the two things, right? The Lord protects everyone, but one who depends completely upon Him is especially looked after by the Lord. So, this is very important for all of us to know that when we depend on Krishna completely, we depend completely. This is important. Not little bit, full, 100%, 10%. Then Krishna will protect, because Krishna says, Arey, nobody else than him, right? Because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, this verse he says, if he continuously, if mind is fixed on Krishna, Aranya Chintayanto Mam, Ye Jana Pariyupasate. We have to constantly meditate on Krishna. Meditate does not mean that we have to go in for him. Anytime we are doing work, anything that we are doing, we should do it for Krishna. That way we can remember Krishna. If you think we are doing, the moment you think we are doer, then it's gone. We are not the doer. When somebody helps us, of course, that's an immediate cause that somebody helped us. But who inspired that person? Krishna. So we should also thank the ultimate cause. We are thanking always immediate cause, right? But we forget to thank the ultimate cause. We are in trouble, financial trouble. I'm having financial trouble. Vikas told Prabhuji, take this money. Don't need to return. So I'll thank Vikas. Then I forget. I have to thank Krishna also, because Krishna inspired him to give him money. Isn't it? This is how it is. But normally, most of the worldly thing, relationship ends at immediate cause, not at the ultimate cause. Yeah, what is visible, right? And we don't have this understanding that it is inspired to Krishna. That's why we don't reciprocate to Krishna. But we have to eventually thank Krishna. So, and Krishna is the beautiful word which comes in, he says, Yoga Kshemam Vahamyam. Now, LIC has taken this, those from India may understand. So, for Robert Prabhu, this is the, tagline for a company, which is the insurance company. They say
India's biggest insurance company.
A public government. Life insurance. Life insurance company. So LIC. So they have a tagline called Yoga Kshema Bahamyaham. So they have picked up that from the Bhagavad Gita. Okay. But what this company does, they will, when it comes to, they are basically, in the business of collecting a lot of premiums. But when it comes to giving back, they will find every little loophole to give you very little, or they will give you nothing. That's what they do. That is, so they really don't do Yoga Kshema Mahamya. But Krishna does. Even if you give little to Krishna, Patram Pushpam Phalantam, little bit, he will shower mercy upon the devotee. That's Krishna's mercy. But the worldly things are not like that. They always want to take more and give. Yes, that's the attitude. That's the worldly. Because here Krishna says, Neha Bhikramana Shosti Pratyavayo Navidyate, means little bit of you do a little bit of service. Swalpam asya dharmasya trayate bhavatapaya. Little bit of progress in bhakti, and you will not go anywhere. It will not get lost. It will not get lost. Our premium is little delayed, and they will send reminder, and they will say, no, you may missed here and all that. So this clause applies, and that's why you will not get this. That's what they do. Hare Krishna. Thank you for coming. So this is how this is, but Krishna protects everybody. That's why Prabhupada lights in the last line here. Yeah. The father is more attentive to the little son who is exclusively dependent on the father. Right? If you have a big, hey, you can do it, you have to do it. And then son, oh, come, I'll help you. That's how the father is. Isn't it? That's a natural thing. The same thing when we fully depend on Krishna, then Krishna will protect. This is very important for us to know. We'll go to the next verse. Now, this is a very beautiful verse. We all can, this is a memorization verse. This is a very nice verse that being said. So now the Uttara comes and she feels that you are the only protector. Krishna is the only protector. Uttaro vacha pahi pahi mahayogin deva deva jagatpate nanyam tvat abhayam pashye yatra mutyu parasparam. Yes, Vikas, can you please read translation?
Uttara said, O Lord of Lords, Lord of the universe, you are the greatest of my states. Please protect me, for there is no one else who can save me from the clutches of death in this world of duality. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So this is a very beautiful verse where she is making complete, surrender, and she says, "You are the only one who can protect me. No one else can protect. No one else, right? Except Krishna, nobody can protect." And this world of duality. So world is duality. We have here material as well as spiritual. Both matters are here, right? Both are there, and therefore there is a duality. How is duality? We have Bhagavatam. We have all the beautiful verses, and they are called Shabda Brahma, right? And there are also Bollywood, Hollywood songs. They make no sense. They have both contradictions are there, right? So when we sing those songs, our mind goes somewhere, and we sing bhajan and shlokas, then we surrender to Krishna. So this duality exists always in material world because it is made of both matter, the material world, and the spiritual. So Prabhupada writes in the purport, the material world is the world of duality in contrast with the oneness of the absolute realm. The world of duality is composed of matter and spirit, whereas the absolute world is complete spirit without any tinge of material qualities. In dual world, everyone is falsely trying to become the master of the world, whereas in the absolute world, the Lord is the absolute Lord and all others are his absolute servitors. In the world of duality, everyone is envious of all others, and death is inevitable due to the dual existence of matter and spirit. Now here, when he says death is inevitable for everybody, we see in this chart, Lord Brahma is sitting on the top, Satyaloka, or Brahmaloka, but they're still within the material world. The Garbhodaka ocean that you see in the bottom circle, that's where Lord Brahma is, but that is all destructible, it will go away. After 311 trillion years, Brahmaji's life will end. It looks longer from our life perspective. 311 trillion years. So it's like huge. But it is all going to destroy after that. A new Brahma will come. It's a position. So that's what it is there. So that's what Uttara is saying. No, you are the ultimate protector. Nobody else can protect. You are the ultimate protector. She understands this. So let's understand a few things. So no one can protect except Krishna. Some examples. Can anybody give examples from Shastra? There are a couple of examples.
Prahlad Maharaj, Gajendra.
But we'll come. These are little different discussions. I have those examples, but these are something else. Here we are talking about where somebody is going to give a boon. I'll little simplify. Somebody wants to give a boon, and they can give boon to a certain extent. Not everything else they can. What are the examples? Vritrasura, no, Krishna protect, but here we are talking about boon, which is not given by Krishna. Somebody else is giving boon and they say, I can only give you this much.
Brajvasi is praying to Indra and
Who?
Brajvasi is praying to Indra and
I think
Huh? No, we are talking about a demigod. Okay, let me further simplify. The demigod is giving boon, is giving blessing, boon, and say, I can only give you this, I cannot give you more than that. No, demigod is giving demigod. Brahma is giving to whom? Hiranyakashipu and
give that.
correct, correct. And there is also Indra giving boon to who? Muchkunda Maharaj. Anybody knows?
Yeah.
Muchkunda. So Muchkunda was a king, he fought with Asuras on the demigod side and he won the war. And he was very, frivolous. So he won. And then demigod says, okay, ask me anything. But no liberation. Well, that I cannot give. I cannot give immortality. So he said, okay, give me I want to rest for hundreds of years. Then he sleeps. It's a story, we can go there. This all comes in Bhagavatam. We'll go later. And second is, of course, as Mata said, Hiranyakashipu. He did ghor tapasya for 36,000 years. Bhagavatam describes. Standing on his toenail, looking at eyes and standing like this. That many years. We cannot stand for a few minutes. He did that tapasya. Brahmaji got pleased and he says, okay, ask me anything. Make me immortal. No, that's not possible. Then he says, okay, I will not die in day, I will not die in the night, I will not die with animal. Any creation done by you, I will not die with that. Everything he asks. I mean, just like equal to possibility, saying, okay, maybe that's what it is. But nobody can protect. Krishna is the only protector. Krishna is the only protector. So there are two stories which come. So one comes in the, when you say, Rakhe Krishna Mare Krishna Rakhe. Very important. If Krishna has to save someone, nobody can kill. And Krishna has to kill someone, nobody can save. So we'll see both the stories. Okay.
Guruji, in Bengali is Rakhe Hari Mare Ke Mare Kriya.
Hari is Krishna. Hari is Krishna. It's all different names. It's all okay. Depending on situation, people use this. That's fine. We have to grab the essence. What is the actual meaning of it? Because otherwise we'll get confused with so many things. Okay. So this story everybody should be knowing, right? Where the eggs are taken away by the ocean. Prabhupada quotes in Bhagavad Gita, in 6th chapter, where he talks about intensity, Drid Vrata. So he's like, the sparrows trying to dry the ocean. You know the story? Okay, let me say that. I think some of you don't know. So there was a story where, and Prabhupada quotes this in the purport of Bhagavad Gita, I think it's in chapter 6, where the sparrows' eggs were taken away by the ocean. Now sparrow says, give me my eggs. And ocean says, oh, what is this? You're such a small, tiny bird. What can I do? Come on, get lost. Not like that. Because as we know, person who has got power and position, they have ego. They have ego. Say, oh, who are you? Come on. The sparrows, no, how can you take? As a mother, she says, okay, she will try taking small drop one by one in the beak and putting outside in the land and keeps coming. And ocean says, oh, what is this? Nothing is going to happen. Narad Muni sees this. And she sees how determined the sparrow is. And he goes and tells Garuda, Hare, your little sister, she's trying so much. Go and help her. She's putting so much effort. She's in so much distress. You should help. Garuda says, okay, let me go. Garuda comes. And that's where you see Garuda. And then Garuda says, please return the eggs. And ocean says, no, how can I? He says, okay, I'm going to dry you. Because Garuda is Vishnu's vehicle. So he can do anything. He has got as much power as Vishnu. So ocean then trembles and says, okay. And he gives it back. So here is what? Rakhe Krishna Marege. If Krishna wants to save someone, nobody can kill. That's an example. Now, other example where Mare Krishna Rakhe. If Krishna has to kill someone, nobody can do. So this story is not in any, this is in some Purana. No. whatever, he heard it in some katha. So this story is like that. So once there was a sparrow which was going, and the hawk was following. Sparrow is normally a prey for the hawk, because hawk is a bigger animal, bird. So it was following, and suddenly Garud sees. So Garud says, "No, you cannot eat this." No, but he says, "This is my prey, you cannot do this." Garud says, "No, nothing to do. I'm taking her." And he takes the sparrow and goes very far and flies very far. And hawk couldn't match up with the speed of Garud. So they disappear. Then Garud takes her into some place, safe place, and say, "Okay, this is a tree, you stay here. And no problem. Now we are safe." As soon as Garud leaves her, the next moment, there was a hole through which the snake comes and takes her and finishes. So she dies. So then Garud got bewildered. Then suddenly the snake becomes Yamaraj. And he said, this sparrow was to die and get a new body. You need not intervene into this. Right? That hawk was my Yamdut. It's come to grab her, but you stop, so I have to come personally to take her. So point is that if Krishna had to save someone, nobody can kill. And if Krishna wants to kill, nobody can protect. Right? So this is how we can understand that Krishna is the ultimate protector. Krishna is ultimate protector. Nobody can challenge that. So Krishna teaches the principles through his devotees. There are so many examples, like Vishwadev is a great devotee, he's a Mahajan. But sometimes we feel, and we see that example, that, oh, why did he do like that? Why did he allow the disturbing of Draupadi? Why did he fought from Adharma's side? All those questions will come in our mind. But we have to understand that Krishna is teaching through Vishwadev to all of us that never take a side of Adharma. You have to break your vows for protecting Dharma. You cannot just decide, oh, there is a king sitting there, how can I break my vow? I have to support him. So I will not stop this disturbing. No, this is all wrong. So Krishna is teaching. That doesn't mean Vishwadev is like that. That is not like that. Okay, so here there is a, Narhari Thakur has wonderful verses written by them. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu, Priya Bhakta Dware, Anyera Dilane Siksha, Eita. So he's trying to teach us through his devotees. Krishna will use his devotees always. Always. Krishna will always teaching through devotees. Therefore, we'll see the devotees are in a condition where we think that, what is this? Is devotees doing like this? How is it possible? But it's not, it's a Leela. We have to see from that view that it is happening like that. It is not that devotee is fallen. No, devotee is not. It's an example that Krishna is teaching us. Because what happens? Devotee proposes and Krishna disposes. Devotee say, I want to do it, but Krishna will dispose. So this is how we can understand. So we should always think of how I can surrender to Krishna. Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives very beautiful Sharanagati prayers. 6 steps of Sharanagati, right? We know that. Dainya Atma Nivedana Goprutre Varana Avasya Rakshi Krishna Vishwasa Pala Bhakti Anukula Matra Kareya Svikara Bhakti Pratikula Bhava Rajanangikara. So we should be completely dainya, like helpless condition. We should just surrender to Krishna. These 6 steps for Sharanagati are very helpful. If we live with these, our life will be perfected. Especially Bhakti Anukul Matra means whatever is favorable for Bhakti, that only we should do. And whatever is not favorable, we should immediately reject it. If we do with this principle, our spiritual life will be very, very steady. But what is happening? Sometimes we are in Bhakti, sometimes we are in Maya. Sometimes we are in Bhakti, sometimes we are in Maya. That's what happens. And that is because of lack of association, lack of our sadhana, lack of our spiritual activity that we should be doing every day. This is important. These things can come only and only if we follow the 4 regular principles, do our sadhana, the chanting, reading, hearing, Shravanam, Kirtan. These are very important. This looks to be a very basic thing. Oh, why is telling chanting? 2 hours of chanting, sitting at one person chanting. what is going to happen? People ask this question. Oh, no activity. People like to see activity. When they go to some other temple, and they say Aarti, and then so many things which are going, and they, oh, this is good. Some activity is going on, so they feel happy. But if only chanting is going, they say, I don't know what is going on. They're all sitting in one place and doing nothing. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. That has a huge impact. We'll see some examples of Nam Japak. How powerful this chanting of the name Nam is. Very powerful. Very, very powerful. Okay. Okay, let's go to the next verse. So now she's coming in saying that protect my son. So what is that verse? Let's see. Abhitravati mam isha sarastapta yaso vibho kamam dahatu mam natha mame garbho nipatyatam.
Oh my Lord, you are all powerful. A fiery iron arrow is coming towards me fast. My Lord, let it burn me personally if you so desire. But please do not let it burn and abort my envy. Please do me this favor, my Lord. Please.
Hare Krishna. So here, one word is very important. One particular phrase. If you so desire. This is very important. Sometimes we ask, we also pray, but we say, please give me this, give me that. We have to add this. If you desire, then give me this. Not this like, give me this means I'm demanding. But when you say, if you so desire, meaning what? Krishna will say, this is good for you or not good for you. Then I will give you. If you so desire means, give me what is good for me. Give me what is favorable for my bhakti. That is what it means. Prabhupada always say, if you so desire. Only if Krishna wishes, then we should get. Otherwise, we'll keep asking. In fact, Sachidanand Swami was mentioning one day, it was very powerful. He said that more miseries have come because of answered prayers. More miseries have come because of answered prayers. Now reflect on this in your own lives. There's something you ask and you got it, and now you are in, big trouble. You are going through the pain, right? And this is such a powerful statement he was making just a few days ago when I was listening to his class. So it is very important that we should ask what is right, not something that we feel is right, because we are in illusion anyways, right? We all are in illusion. We all have confusions all the time. So therefore, we should always. This is Prabhupada, mentions, and Prabhupada keeps mentioning this many times. So let's read the purport. This incident took place after the death of Abhimanyu, the husband of Uttara. Abhimanyu's widow Uttara should have followed the path of her husband, but because she was pregnant and Maharaj Parikshit, a great devotee of the Lord, was lying in embryo, she was responsible for his protection. Now, this another statement is another important one. That mother of a child has a great responsibility in giving all protection to the child. And therefore, Uttara was not ashamed to express this frankly before Lord Krishna. So, mother is responsible to protect. That means what? Not just protection like this. Protecting them from deviating to Krishna consciousness. This is important because today, this is such a big problem. The children going and doing something else. Parents want to do Krishna consciousness, but children don't do that. So we have to bring them and help them. They will deviate, but we have to bring it back slowly. And that way, not through force, through love and through examples. We have to show example. If you don't chant and we tell, you chant. If you don't read shloka and then, okay, you remember shloka, how is that going to happen? That's not going to work, right? Like in our Gita wise, when I go and talk about this, some students just don't recite verses. And when we talk to their parents and we tell them, you please chant with them. You also sit with them. Spend at least 10 minutes a day. 10 minutes. If not 5 minutes, sit with them. Just recite that verse. That's it. The child will pick up very fast. But parents are busy, they don't have time. That's what happens. So this is important. They have to protect not just the physical body, but the spiritual body. That is more important. That is more important. Uttara was a daughter of a great king, the wife of a great hero, and student of a great devotee. And later she was the mother of a good king also. She was fortunate in every respect. So here a few points are there. If you so desire, right? So there are some prayers which are being done. So prayer should be done like what? For our safety, or we should say, Krishna, whatever you feel, you do it that way. You know, sometimes we have some examples. And that's what I was just talking. You mentioned about Gajendra and Draupadi. So those examples are now come. So let's talk about that. So Gajendra prayed for what? People think that he prayed for protection, but he did not pray for protection. Because if we pray for our protection, then that is becoming like a selfish. Gajendra's prayers are in Bhagavatam because he did not pray for his life. We pray for our life. That's why, you know, our prayers are not there in Bhagavatam. But Gajendra's prayer, because he's not praying, he's just praying, Lord Vishnu, that's it. Praying. Okay, I want to offer this. That's it. I'm in difficulty, but I want to offer this. So he's not praying for his own protection. Draupadi. Now, this is the most misunderstood episode, you know, where people think that she prayed for her protection. No, she did not pray for her protection. Now, this is a very confusing statement, isn't it? We all felt it is for her protection, isn't it? Because when a woman's justice is being challenged, that's the only thing she would like to save, isn't it? At any cost, isn't it? Right? But it is not like that. Our acharyas mentioned that she prayed to Krishna, that Krishna, I am your devotee. People know me as your devotee. People know me as, because what is the Draupadi's next another name? Krishna. Krishna is her name because she's chanting Krishna, Krishna all the time. From every pore of her body, the Krishna name is emitting. That's why she's called Krishna. So let's read this verse. It's very beautiful. Pratigya tava Govinda Dame bhakta pranashyati iti samsmritya pranam sandarayamya aham. Yes, Robert, can you see and read?
Yes, we do. O Govinda, remembering again and again your promise that your devotee will never perish, I maintain my life.
So here he's saying that your devotee will never perish. You have promised, right? In Bhagavad Krishna says, my devotee will never perish. And he says that. So it is your reputation is in danger, not me. I have no problem because I'm not the body. So I don't care. Even if I am stripped completely naked, I have no problem. But it's your reputation. You promised that your devotee will not, then what are you doing? You're not protecting. So it's your reputation. Therefore, you have to come and protect me. So it is not Draupadi is praying for herself, but it is Draupadi is praying for Krishna's reputation. That Krishna, do you know? Are you aware? You made this promise. Rather, you will be making this promise in future. So in advance, I'm asking. Because war was fought afterwards. Bhagavad Gita was spoken after the incident. But devotee knows what's going to happen. So this is what it is. Draupadi is helping Krishna to save his reputation. So that's what Acharya says. It is not Draupadi for herself. No, it is not for herself. Because from her every pore body, she's even Krishna, 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 Krishna. Arjuna also like that. From every pore of his body, Krishna's name is coming. That is how they are devoted. Therefore, Krishna says, among the man, I am the Pandava. Pandava is Arjuna. In the 10th chapter, when he talks about Vibhuti Yoga, when he talks about different Vibhuti, he talks about that. Why? Because Arjuna is the person. He's his great devotee. So since now we are talking about Nam, let's talk about Nam Jap. So Nam references, Nam Jap. When the Nam Jap is done, what is the power potency? So everybody heard of Tukaram? Tukaram ji, right? Tukaram ji was a great devotee. He went with the same body to Vaikuntha. So that is his power. And he was chanting Jai Hari Vithala, Jai Hari Vithala. And he was chanting so intensely, and he will be chanting on the mountains, and all the mountains, the rocks, and all the stones, they will start vibrating. They will start vibrating. That is the power of his chanting. So that is Nam Japak. That's how we should be chanting Nam. Then other reference, which, and this is not very old. Tukaram Maharaj came what, about 400 years ago? Correct? Yes? Rishikesh, correct? Yeah, because he's from Maharashtra, he knows. And he has got his deities also at home, Panduranga Vithala at his home. So other incident happened few hundreds years ago. So there was a great sadhu, and this is a true story, dear devotees. And he was chanting Ram Nam, Ram, 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 like that. And he had only one devotee, one disciple. So the disciple goes out, he says, Gurudev, I will just go out and go to some dham and I'll come back. Gurudev says, yeah, please go. Gurudev is alone, he is old. So this goes, and after several months, he comes back. He comes back and comes to know that Gurudev has left this world. And when he asked the people in that village and all that, some people knew, some people did not know. Several months have passed. And some say, yeah, he left the body and we cremated. So instead of such great sadhu should be given samadhi, but they cremated, and then he says, where? He said, oh, you go to that cremation place and there you can see. But which, how can I find which pile of ashes is? He said, we don't know. He says, what is this? How can this happen? Then this disciple, he went near the pile of ashes, and he was listening. And one pile of ash was promoting Ram, 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 Ram. He puts his ear and he takes, this is my Gurudev. He picks it up and put it in the water, in the river. So this is a power, and this is a fact, dear devotees. How the Nam Japa is such a powerful thing. Because from every atom in the body is now fully spirit. It is no longer material. Like in Prabhupada Leela, the example comes. When Prabhupada was in the Western world, he was taking bath in the ocean, in the sea, right? So Prabhupada took that water, and because it's a salty water is like an antiseptic, right? You could just gargle and all that. When we have sore throat, we use that, isn't it? So he just takes a gargle and then spit it out. And as soon as he spit it out, the devotee jumps to catch that. Devotee jumps to catch that. I don't want it. Because why? Because it's so potent. And like that, they are jumping and getting it. This is there in Leela, you can read it. These are all this is how we have to read it, scripture, the reference and all that. It gives a lot of belief that yes, things are there. Things are there. So people go after him. Why? There's a reason. There's a verse in Chaitanya Charitamrita which says this one. Bhakta pada dhuliyara bhakta pada jala. Bhakta bhukta avashesa tina mahabala. Yeah, Rishikesh, can you please read? Are you
Is thus of the feet of a devotee, the water that has washed the feet of a devotee, and the remnants of food left by a devotee are three very powerful substances.
Hari Bol. Look at this. So that's why we take Uchista from great sadhus. It immediately impacts. Any example from Shastra where somebody took Uchista and become a great person? Yes, Narad Muni. Narad Muni, yes. So great news for all of you. I have got some very nice Uchista of His Holiness Ravana Swami Maharaj, which will be given to all of you after the class. It's a water that he drank. We have that water. So, few drops we will get today. Okay. So we were lucky when we went to Washington, we were able to grab that. So we'll get everybody. Okay, so Avnish is online. The next time when Avnish comes, Avnish will get it. So this is how it is. So other places where the intense prayer was done, anybody, any example from Mahabharata? This is the one. Remember? What is this example? Akshay Patra. So when
Mirabai also, right?
which one?
Mirabai. That is also intense prayer.
Oh, intense prayer, yes. Intense prayer, yes. So here, again, Duryodhan wanted to destroy Yudhishthira in any ways. So he says, okay, let me send Durvasmuni. When he goes his, 10,000 disciples, they will not have food to feed him. And he will curse them and they will die. Like that Duryodhan thought. Any sense? When Draupadi Devi came to know, and she had Akshay Patra given by sun god, but they just finished everything and there was nothing left. Then she prays to Krishna. For what? Not for herself. For protecting her husband. Saying that, please protect my husband. So when devotee prays for others, that's how the devotee is. Devotee is para dukkha dukhi. Devotee is para dukkha dukhi. He says anybody other than himself. Either related or not related. Para dukkha dukhi. So devotees are always like that. Our nature, Vaishnavas, is like that. Okay, if somebody is in dukkha, then we should help. We should pray for them. We should pray for them. Sometimes we may not be able to help because they are far off or something. But as soon as we know, we can pray for them. We can pray. So that's how we should be. Okay, let's go to the next verse. Brahmastra. Now the Brahmastras are coming. Verse number 11. Yes. So here again, though Ashwasthama was left, saying, okay, Draupadi said, okay, let him go. But he's still making another big mistake here. He's releasing another Brahmastra. So earlier, when he killed the sons of Pandava, he killed in ignorance. Means he did not know they are Pandavas or they are Pandavas sons because he came in the night. And Krishna protected because Krishna said, today the war is just got over, please come and sleep. All the Pandava went with him and his sons were sleeping in one place. And Ashwasthama came and killed, thinking they are Pandavas. But that was a mistake he made. But now, this is intentional. He's doing, he wants to kill. Now, this is what it is. So let's read this verse. Suta uvacha. Upadharya vachastasya Bhagavan Bhakta Vassala Apandavam idam kartum Dronerastram abudhaya.
Sutta Goswami said, having patiently heard her words, Lord Shri Krishna, who is always very affectionate to his devotees, could at once understand that Ashwatthama, the son of Dronacharya, had thrown the Brahmastra to finish the last life in the Pandava family.
So here, one important word is used. What is that? Bhakta Vatsala. Krishna is a Bhakta Vatsala. Very important point. Right? Because he is very dear to the devotees. The devotees are very dear to Krishna. So many examples are there where Krishna comes and protects the devotees. Just like that. Even if they are not praying. Krishna says, oh, he isn't. Let me help him. Krishna comes. So many examples. So let's read the purport. Prabhupada makes some important points in this. The first paragraph itself, first few lines itself is big one. The Lord is impartial in every respect, but still he is inclined towards his devotees because there is a great necessity of these for everyone's well-being. Hare Krishna. Example is Srila Prabhupada came to Western world, he was only devotee. When he came to America, he was only devotee in the whole continent. But because of him, today we are able to sit here and discuss Bhagavatam, isn't it? So, devotee's protection is very important. Wherever, it is very important to protect the devotee. the Pandava family was a family of devotees, and therefore the Lord wanted them to rule the world. Duryodhana had a lot of skills. Duryodhana had a lot of skills. Okay. There is no question about his capability of running a kingdom. Absolutely. He had all the knowledge and skill to run a kingdom very efficiently. But he was not cultured. He did not have the character. In today's world, people think that, oh, that's okay. I don't care what he does outside of office. But he's good in a work, no? So that's fine. That's how the leaders are chosen today. If you see the election, they say, yeah, he's efficient, no? He is doing this, so that's fine. But he is not morally good. His character is not good. Then how is that going to help? That's not good. But that's a material world thinking. We think that somebody is good, that's okay. No, you think that whether his character is good or not, that is important. Because you cannot change the character of a person. You can teach him skills, right? But character is so difficult. So that's what Prabhupada is saying. That was the reason he vanquished the rule of the company of Duryodhana. This is a real D company. We talk about D company. This is a D company, the first D company. And established the rule of Maharaj Yudhishthira. Therefore, he also wanted to protect Maharaj Parikshit, who was lying in embryo. He did not like the idea that the world should be without the Pandavas, the ideal family of the devotees. In fact, Duryodhana wanted to do Rajasuya Yajna. But the priest said, no. Because Yudhishthira Maharaj is still alive, he is the eldest son of the dynasty, you cannot do it because he is supposed to be the king. So you cannot do it. So Duryodhana said, okay, then what to do? Then he did another yajna, which was powerful, but it was not a Rajasuya yajna. So he was very envious with Pandava, saying, I have to kill them, finish them anyways. He was trying every reasons to fight with them, to take their properties, take their kingdom, everything he did. And therefore, Krishna wanted to establish dharma. Yada yada hi dharmasya. That's why he wanted to establish dharma. That's why he came. And he got it done also. So Krishna always wants to protect devotees. Very important. Krishna is Bhakta Vatsala. So therefore, if you become devotee, Krishna will love us profusely. With little bit of love in this world, we become so overwhelmed, isn't it? When you're in teenage, somebody gives a flower and chocolate. Oh, my entire life is given to that boy or girl. Finished. Just for that. One chocolate and one rose and some sweet word. That's it. That little love is we find so much joy. Look at Krishna's love. This is Krishna. So we have to see from a very different angle. From material angle, we will not be able to understand all these things. Okay, let's go to the next verse. Again, Brahmastas thought. So I mentioned plural here. So multiple Brahmastas were released, not just one. One was to kill Parikshit Maharaj, and other was killed to Pandavas. All Pandavas. So he released multiple Brahmastas. Okay, let's read the next verse, verse number 12. Tarhi evat muni shrestha Pandava pancha sayaka Atmano bimukha diptan Alakshastrani upadatu. Yes, Madhya.
O foremost among the great thinkers, Munis, Somnaka, seeing the glaring Brahmastra proceeding towards them, the Pandavas took up their 5 respective weapons.
So when the Brahmastra was released, Pandavas also came to know, okay, this is released. So they immediately got ready to fight, right? So what are the different astras that everybody uses? Anybody knows? Different weapons for 5 Pandavas. Like Arjun is using something. Bhim is Gada, okay. What about others? No, Nakul.
You use swords, I
Yes,
Nakul and
yes.
Sahadev.
Nakul Sahadev used sword. What about
Yudhishthira
Yudhishthira Maharaj? No, that is Parshurama. That is spear. Spear uses spear. Correct. So this is all in this. They use different weapons. So this is like simple thing. Oh, he uses it. But what do we learn from this? We have to learn from all these things, right? This box is not created just to say, oh, he is using this now. No, we have to learn from this box. So what is showing? Everybody has a different skill here. Bhim is not jealous. Oh, Arjun is playing so great boy. No, I should also learn like that. He is not saying, no, he's saying, you do this, I will do this. Oh, Sadhya Nakul, you are fighting with sword. Yudhishthira Maharaj is not envious of them. Oh, I'm using this spear, but let me also learn. No. They have skill to use all the weapons, by the way. Okay, but they are more skillful in this particular. That's how it is. So don't think that they don't know how to use sword. No, they know all the weapons, but they are very specializing in this particular thing. So what is it? Among devotees, we have to learn like this. What is that? Every devotee has a different skill, right? Somebody can do nice bhajan. Somebody can give nice class. Somebody can do book distribution. Somebody can cook nice prasadam. Somebody can do some menial service. Everybody has a different. Everybody should be accommodated. We should not be envious of others. Oh, he's playing mridanga. I should learn nice mridanga so I can take part in Kirtan Vela. No, not like that. He's playing, let him play. I will also play, I will learn, but that is not my forte. Unless we live like this, the harmony cannot be maintained in the community. Otherwise, what's the difference in the material world people and the devotees? One anartha which Krishna does not accept is envy. And this is what the harmony teaches. We all should be not non-envious. We all should be non-envious with anybody, including people in the material world. Oh, he's got a big home, he's got 2 cars, nothing envious. I'm living in an apartment. Why envy? I'm in this condition because of my karma. Whatever I've done in past life, so I will gradually progress. I don't have to worry. You have to just pray to Krishna. Whatever is right for me, do it. If my bhajan is happening in this apartment, I will be in apartment. That's fine. If I go to big house and I have big mortgage and now I'm in tension, then I cannot do my bhajan. Then I have to do double shift and double work. And then what's the point? Then what's the point? Isn't it? So we should live in the condition whichever the Krishna has kept us and just keep praying. Sudama Brahman had no money. Literally, he was begging and eating and nothing. But he was very pleasingly praying Krishna. That's it. And he was not even asking for anything. He was not saying, please give me Krishna. What is this? I'm your friend. I'm in this poor condition. I mean, don't you see this? He's not even saying this. What is this? Yeah, sometimes it becomes like that. Bhagwan, kuch karo abhi. No, I'm having too much stress. But Krishna is, one thing is that Krishna will never give the pain or the dukkha that we cannot take. He will only give you that much, not beyond that. He will not give beyond that capacity. That is not there. So Krishna is very merciful that way. So this is what we can learn from this. Right? So here Prabhupada mentions one particular point. The Brahmastra are finer than the nuclear weapons. Ashwatthama discharged the Brahmastra simply to kill the Pandavas, namely the 5 brothers headed by Maharaj Yudhishthira and their only grandson who was lying within the womb of Uttara. So here Prabhupada makes a point. Therefore, the Brahmastra, more effective and finer than the atomic weapons, was not built as the atomic bombs. Because in atomic bomb, what happens? If it falls, innocent and everybody dies. But Brahmastra is very pinpoint. He says it has to go and hit this person. Like, here, he is released to kill Parikshit Maharaj in the womb. Uttara will not be killed with Brahmastra. Only that emperor will be killed. See how finer it is. And by creating atomic bomb and nuclear bomb, we think we are advancing. But are we advancing? No, not at all. These are very subtle things. When the atomic bombs are discharged, they do not discriminate between the target and others. Mainly, the atomic bombs do harm to innocent because there is no control. The Brahmastra is very controlled, very finer. The Brahmastra is not like that. It makes marks out the target and proceeds accordingly without harming the innocent. This is the technology that we had. So we are definitely not advancing. We think that all this technology which has come and advancing, no, absolutely no. Today I was listening to one class in which Maharaj was mentioning. He says that there are so many types of siddhis. Now I don't remember the name of the siddhi, but I can tell you what siddhi is. So siddhi is like, you could be sitting here and you can hear conversation happening anywhere in the world. You say, I want to hear conversation happening in this place. You can hear sitting here. You can go from one place to another, that we all know, right? You want to be here. I say, I want to go to India. You will be there in next moment you are in India. That's a siddhi one can get by the Ashtanga yoga and all the system. Then you can get it. But he says all the siddhi that we are trying to get, we need not do all the, we can achieve through even just Nam Jap. But the purpose of Nam Jap is not to achieve this siddhis. Purpose of Nam Jap is to receive prema of Radha and Krishna. That's the purpose. So this mundane thing that we run after is definitely not helping. So we should avoid that. So looking at this, what does Krishna do? Krishna is a Bhakta Vatsal, so he picks up his Sudarshan Chakra. So let's see what he's doing here. Vyasanam Viksha Tattesham Ananya Vishayatmanam Sudarshanena Swatrena Swanam Raksham Vyadha Vidu Vibu.
Translation. The Almighty Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, having observed that a great danger was befalling his unalloyed devotees who were fully surrendered souls, at once took out his Sudarshan Chakras to protect them. Great.
So, as you know, Bhakta Vatsala, right? So here, we'll not read the whole purport, but there are some important points that we'll read. So, in the middle, Prabhupada writes, in the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord has clearly promised that his devotees are never to be vanquished. Right? We know all this, that his devotee will never perish. And then, in the last paragraph, Prabhupada says, but, here, before that, although the battle of Kurukshetra was almost finished, still, according to his vow, he should not have taken up his own weapon. Because he took a vow, right? When Arjuna and Duryodhana went to Krishna, Krishna says, either you take my Akshayani's Narayani Sena, or you take me, but I'm not going to take a weapon. I will not fight. I will just be beside you. Arjuna said, okay, no problem. So that means Krishna made a promise not to pick up any weapon. But he says, now we read this. But the emergency was more important than the vow. This is important. He is better known as Bhakta Vatsal, or the lover of his devotee, and thus he preferred to continue as Bhakta Vatsal than to be worldly moralist who never breaks his soulman vow. So sometimes, many times, vows are taken. Vow was taken for certain purpose. Right? But we have to also look at the higher purpose. So here, Krishna saw this is emergency, this weapon is not going to work. Brahmastra is coming. So your sword and all that is not going to work, right? Therefore, he says, okay, let me go. Sudarshan Chakra. So one thing is proven that Krishna is all powerful because only he can counter the most powerful weapon, which is Brahmastra. So that means Krishna is all powerful, right? So here, so let's talk about mundane moralist versus Bhakta Vatsal. So we'll see example from Bhishmadev. So Bhishmadev, when this scene was happening, he said, oh, there is a king sitting there. How can I speak before the king? And I have taken a vow to support him because he has taken a vow. Bhishmadev has taken a vow that whoever is the king, I will be on his side. That is his vow. I will protect him. So he said, how can I speak? But you see some immoral thing is happening. He should have broken. He said, forget it. You cannot let this happen. I will not allow. What is Kshatriya? Kshatriya means protector of woman, child, old man, cow, everything. That's called Kshatriya. But he did not do that. Right? And then in the other city, when Krishna had taken a vow, I will not pick up a weapon. But Bhishmadev, when he wanted to kill Pandavas, and he says 5 arrows, and next day he fights so fiercely. Arjun, Krishna thought, oh, he's going to fight, he'll kill Arjun. So he picks up the weapon. He breaks his vow. Because Bhakta Vasal, Bhakta is more important than breaking his vow. Forget it. Let people call me that I did not follow my vow. I don't care. But I want to protect my devotees. So that's a higher cause. So many times we take a vow, so I will not do this. And then we follow that, but we miss the higher purpose. So that should never happen. Like, there is a devotee. This is a true story which happened in Radhakund. So one devotee has taken vow that for 5 days of Bhisma Panchak, I will do Mauna Vrat. No speaking of a word. So he's chanting, but he's chanting Mansik Japa, Hare Krishna, Hare, like that. Mansik Japa is going on. So he goes to Radhakund and chanting and all that. And one BHagavatam comes. That BHagavatam is so great that if he blesses someone, then they will get Akhand Nam Sukruti. Then he will keep chanting. That's how the BHagavatam is. So he sees this devotee absorbed in the Nam Jap, and he comes and says, and he wishes him, Gaur Hari Bol. And this guy just looks at him and he's chanting. Now the purpose of Maun was what? Not to speak some mundane things, isn't it? Maun means not to speak some mundane and prajalpa, all worldly matter. He's chanting, he's saying, Gaur Hari Bol. Which you just say Hari Bol and pay Dandat obeisances to him right away. And ask questions. How can I get Akhanda Nam Jap? How can I do this? I'm not getting chased. What can I do? This kind of question can be done. This is still like a Maun only, because you are not talking any stupid worldly matter. But he is doing like this. What's the point? So this is called Dhrida Vrata, but on a wrong side. I've taken vow, but I will not do this. So that is mundane moralist. I will do this, but I will not break my vow. That's wrong. You missed the opportunity, right? Because if you see this, so any other example from Shastra where such vows are not or broken for higher purpose? Any example? Shastra or Parampara. So when we were doing Radha Madhav, there was a picture. What was the display here? What slide was there? Anybody noticed? What slide was there when we were doing Radha Madhav? Correct. So what do we? Sukdev Goswami is, we see his characteristic in the first chapter. What is his? Correct. He never stays in one place for more than the milking of a cow, which is like 15-20 minutes at max.
But for Parikshit Maharaj,
7 days.
7 days, 7 nights in one place. So he broke his vow. But for what? For a higher purpose. Because of that higher purpose, we all are listening to Bhagavatam, isn't it? If the Bhagavatam was not spoken, what will we do? We'll be playing cricket and something else, right? Watching movie. Maybe Friday night show or something. And we would be saying TGFA, something like that. Thank God it's Friday. TGI, something like that. Yeah. Thank God it's Friday. Oh, wow, I will go and hit the beer bar. Something. Because of that, we are sitting here. So he broke the vow for a higher purpose. So this is good. Is it good? We feel that he broke his vow. But no, he did it very well. Other from our parampara?
Srila Prabhupada.
Yes, Avnish, very good. Srila Prabhupada. Sannyasis can never cross the ocean. They're sannyasis. And sannyasi, or when you retire, you should stay in Vrindavan. They will not go out of Vrindavan. But Prabhupada broke all the vows. He came out of Vrindavan to bring people in Vrindavan, isn't it? Isn't it better? Yes. I will stay here and do bhajan, but let people may not come. Then I don't care. No. He came out, and now we have thousands of people, millions of people going into Vrindavan because of him coming out of that. He broke the vow for higher purpose. If you know, I am sannyasi, I am retired, I will stay here, nothing would have happened. So we should be breaking our vows for higher purpose. That's what always we have to remember. We are not here for keeping vows. Yes, vows are important. Vows have to be kept. But when we see a higher purpose, then we can break the vow. We can do it. No problem. So this is important to learn from that. So there goes on Prabhupada. And we can learn from Bhishmadev that he did not break vow. And then it was that Krishna is teaching through his devotees. Because Bhishmadev is also a Mahajan. And from his example, he's teaching that no, you should not keep your vows like that. It's not that's a wrong thing to do. Right? That's what he's going to talk. Okay, let's look at verse number 14. Krishna took up the Sudarshan disc. So let's read the verse number 14. Where is it? Yeah. Antastha sarva bhutana ma yogeshvaro harihi swamayaya vrunot garbham viratya kuru tantave. Vijay Mataji, can you please read translation?
Translation. The Lord of Supreme Mysticism, Sri Krishna, resides within everyone's heart as Paramatma. As such, just to protect the potency of Guru dynasty, he covered the embryo of Uttara by his personality.
So we'll see this more detail when we go to the birth of Parikshit Maharaj, where these particular incidents are described in more detail. More vividly it is being described. So we'll not go in detail, but there it is very nicely. All these verses are given, but they are will touch higher at a high level. But details are given in the chapter number 12. After 4th chapter, where the birth of Parikshit Maharaj is described, and where a lot of details are given about this. So we'll see that. But basically, Krishna is protecting the embryo of Uttara. So let's quickly read the purport and then go to the next one. The Lord of Supreme Mysticism can simultaneously reside within everyone's heart or even within the atoms by his Paramatma feature, his plenary portion. Therefore, from within the body of Uttara, he covered the embryo to save Maharaj Parikshit and protect the progeny of Maharaja Kuru, of whom King Pandu was also a descendant. Both the son of Dhritarashtra and those of Pandu belong to the same dynasty of Maharaj Kuru. Therefore, both of them were generally known as Kurus. But when there were differences between the two families, the sons of Dhritarashtra were known as Kurus, whereas the sons of Pandu were known as Pandavas. Since the sons and grandsons of Dhritarashtra were all killed in the battle of Kurukshetra, the last son of dynasty is designated as a son of Kurus. So here son of Kuru is mentioned, not son of Pandu, because they are from the Kuru dynasty. And all the Kurus were died. They all died. That's why it is mentioned there. So, because everywhere, even Brahma says Krishna is energy. So Krishna can only stop that. His energy. So that's why Krishna is everywhere. Now the neutralization happens. Verse number 15. Yadyapi astram brahma siras sva amogam cha pratikriyam Vaishnavam teja asadya samshamya dragudvaha. Yes, can you read that?
The Supreme Master of the released by Ashrama, his irresistible and unshakable friendship, it was visualized that
Hare Krishna. Thank you. So here in purport, Prabhupada mentioned the reference to Bhagavad Gita verse. That comes in chapter number 14. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said that Brahma Jyoti, or the glowing transcendental effulgence, is resting on Lord Krishna. In other words, the glowing effulgence known as Brahma Tejas is nothing but the rays of the Lord. Just as the sun rays are the rays of the sun disk. So this Brahma weapon also, although materially irresistible, could not surpass the supreme strength of the Lord. So everything is come from Krishna. Even Brahmastra is coming from him. So therefore it is mentioned here. Here it is mentioned. Brahmano hi pratisthaham amrutyasya vyayasya cha shashvatasya cha dharmasya sukhasya cha. So, Neeraj, can you read?
Yeah. Translation. And I am the basic of the personal Brahma, which is an important principle and the eternal conceptual position of the ultimate.
Yes, thank you. So here everything comes from Krishna. Krishna is confirming. Therefore only he can protect. Nobody else. Though Brahmastra is very powerful, nobody else can counter it. Only Krishna can counter it. Or somebody who has the knowledge of counteracting the Brahmastra. So that's what Krishna is saying. Prabhupada is very beautifully giving references of different scriptures for us to read. If you just read, purpose, we'll be reading multiple scriptures at the same time. So here, Prabhupada has been very kind to all of us. Because on our own, we will never be able to understand these things like that. But through purport, we can understand. So last two verses, we do this. So in this verse, Krishna's wonderful things are being discussed. Let's talk about this. Verse number 16. Ma manstha hai etad ascharyam sarvasracharyam mayechyute ya idam mayaya devya srijat avati hanti ajah. Yes, Prabhuji, can you read? We have
Translation. Oh, Brahmanas, do not think this to be especially wonderful. The activities of the mysteries and infallible personality of God. By his own transcendental energy, he creates, maintains, and analyzes all material things, although he himself is unborn.
Hare Krishna. So, Krishna's all the activities are very mysterious. We all know, right? So when he protects like this, we might feel, oh, then like Krishna, what's a big deal? He can do it. No, we should also feel ashamed. Oh, we did it, Like one example comes like, for example, when Krishna does this Govardhan Leela. So what do we think? Oh, he's Bhagwan, so he's doing it. It's okay. What's a big deal? He's Bhagwan, he can do it. We should also feel overwhelmed like Brajvasis. All the Gopas say, oh, Krishna, how can you lift it? Such a small boy, 7-year boy, you're holding. Oh, let me also put a lathi because I don't want you to get in trouble. So they put the lathi, all those things they come. Yashodama is feeding Makhan, they get some strength. And at the same time, he's being fed. All the Gopas are massaging the arms so that he doesn't feel tired. All this is happening. Think how we did it like that. But when we see Bhagwan hai, so he can do it. We don't get that ecstasy. Oh, like that. But here Prabhupada is saying that we should also get the kind of ecstasy. When we see the Krishna, though it is, we know that he is Krishna and we may not get surprised and wondered about it. But we should still get surprised and say, why? How come Krishna is doing it? That is when we will be in that bhav. Other we are just reading it. But that's okay. We should read at least. We should not read something else. We should read this. But someday we should pray that can we get that bhav? Mahaprabhu, when we are reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, yesterday we were reading, I was telling about that Parvat. Then I researched and it's called Chatak Parvat. Chatak Parvat. So when he sees Chatak Parvat, he thinks this is Govardhan. He just goes after him. Govardhan like that. He just goes after him. When he sees the sea in the Jagannath Puri. He thinks this is Yamuna. He goes inside, deep inside,
Yes,
and he drowns, and fisherman brings him out and all this. Because he sees diverse things. That I was talking about, right? Amarinda Prabhu, when he saw that beautiful fish kind of thing. And I was telling Prabhu how nice it fish. Immediately say, oh, it's like a Matsya Avatar. Now that is his vision. And my vision was a fish, and he's saying it's Matsya Avatar. This is the difference between a Mahabharata and a normal devotee. When he was traveling to one of the devotees' place, Adigar Prabhuji was mentioning, there are two ponds which are there. And he says, this is like a Radhakund and Shyamkund. Immediately he called out. Now we'll think, oh, they have two ponds and they're like little dirty and they've got some flowers. This is what we'll see. He sees very differently because he's all the time absorbed in Krishna consciousness. So this is how we can develop our Krishna consciousness also. Very, very important for all of us. So here, let's read the purport. The activities of the Lord are always inconceivable to the tiny brain of the living entities. We think our brain is very powerful. Here's Prabhupada's tiny brain. It immediately cuts down our ego. Your brain is very tiny. Don't talk about it. You cannot understand. Nothing is impossible for the Supreme Lord, but all his actions are wonderful for us. And thus, he is always beyond the range of our conceivable limits. The Lord is all powerful, all perfect, personality of God. The Lord is 100% perfect, 100%. Whereas others, namely Narayan, Brahma, Shiva, the demigod, and all other living beings, possesses only different percentage of such perfection. No one is equal to or greater than him. He is unrivaled. When we have problem,
Narayan is Krishna.
yes, his expansion. So when we go to Krishna is supreme. Like Krishna has got 64 qualities, Lord Vishnu has got 60, and then reduces slowly. So here, in earlier days, I used to, because in India, they worship Lord Ganesh a lot. He's considered the Vignaharta. He takes away all the obstacles from our work, whatever that we do, right? Vignaharta. And we pray. And I have also prayed. So on Ashtavinayak, there are 8 prominent temples in Maharashtra called Ashtavinayak. So that we take production and go to 8 places in a couple of days and we pray and all this. So basically we pray for what? Taking away obstacles on achieving anything materially. Remember, this is what we pray to Lord Ganesh to remove obstacles in achieving something material. Oh, my promotion is being stuck. Okay, let me go to Ganesha. Oh, I'm not getting married. Okay, let me go to Ganesha. Remove the obstacles, like that. Sometimes I want a better husband. Pray to Mother Parvati. Oh, I need a good wife. Okay, pray to Lord Shiva. All these people do Vrata and all that, But actually, our shelter should be only to Supreme Krishna because everything comes from him. Everything. Even Lord Ganesha, who is removing the obstacle, who is giving him this power? Brahmaji mentions in Brahma Samhita. This one. Yadapad Pallav Yugam Vinidaya Kumbha. Dvande Pranam Samaye Saganadhiraja. Vidvan Vihantum Malam Asya Jagatrayasya. Govindamadi Purusham Tam Aham Bhajami. Look at this translation. So, yes, Akshay, can you please read this better? I'll make it clear. Tumuli. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So look at this. We are trying to get rid of these obstacles on the 3 world by praying Ganesha. But who is from where he is getting? Lord Krishna. Brahma is saying this. So our ultimate solace or going to for anything Should be nothing other than Krishna. Because everything comes from him. So that is the source of anything that we see in this world. Anything. Okay. So let's go to next and probably the last verse for today. Yeah, and thus saved by Krishna. So let's read the last verse for today, and then we will stop. Verse number 17. Brahma Tejo Vinirmukter Atmajai Saha Krishnaya Prayana Bimukham Krishnam Idam aha prithasati. Ravish, can you please read better? Thank you. So here, let's read the purport. Kunti is described herein as Sati or chaste due to her unalloyed devotion to Lord Sri Krishna. Her mind will now be expressed in the following prayers of Lord Krishna. A chaste devotee of the Lord does not look to others, namely any other living being or demigod, even for deliverance from danger. So here, chaste person means you are devoted to one, right? That's what he said. We should always be fixed on one thing. Eka mantra, eka shastra, eka Easter. Either we do Radha Krishna or God Nitai or Narsingh Dev, whichever, Eka Dev. We should be in complete 100% nishtha should be on that Bhagwan. And similarly, while chanting, we should be having Eka mantra, Eka sthana, Eka samaya, and Eka guru. When we have one guru from whom we have taken diksha and we are following him, and then we sit at one place every day, same time, same mantra, then the potency will be amazing. One devotee who came from Vrindavan, he was talking, I think it came in last February, and we met him and he was talking about it, saying that when he went to meet, I don't remember which Babaji, I think Ramesh Babaji or something, he went to meet him. Yeah. So he says when he went, normally he's from morning 3 o'clock till evening, afternoon 3 12 hours he's chanting in one place. 12 hours, one place, doesn't even get up. 12 hours he's chanting. Now if you sit about, legs will be paining and we can't get up, but he is chanting. So he went to meet him and he was fortunate to get his darshan. So he lives in a very small kutir. Doesn't have a lot of big space, lives in a small kutir. So from the door, he paid obeisances, and while paying obeisances, his hand touched the asana, just asana, where he is chanting, and his hairs, all the hair stood up. There's so much power in that. It's like, when you get a static, you get that kind of thing. That's what he got. So he was explaining that how that place becomes so siddha. As I was saying, right, by continuously chanting, every atom of our body becomes so vibrant. So these are the facts. And therefore, we should only be having one focus, one pointed focus. And when we do that, then this kind of revelation Krishna will do this. That was all along the characteristic of the whole family of the Pandavas. They knew nothing except Krishna. Nobody they knew. They always think of Krishna. When we see Kunti Devi's prayer, they are so amazing. We'll see it from next week. They are so beautiful. And therefore, the Lord was also always ready to help them in all respect, in all circumstances. So many calamities they have gone through. If you have so many calamities, we will probably give up this thing. I don't know. We'll stop believing in this Bhagwan somewhere like that, isn't it? It's how can so much pain can be given? But devotee never thinks like that. Devotee sees that all these problems are coming to purify myself. All this happening because to purify myself. This is the transcendental nature of the Lord. He reciprocates the dependence of the devotees. One should not, therefore, look for help from imperfect living beings or demigods, but one should look for all help from Lord Krishna, who is competent to save his devotees. Such a chaste devotee also never asks the Lord for help, but the Lord, out of his own accord, is always anxious to render it. So now quiz time. Okay, we read the last line in the purport. I'll read once again because the questions will come from there. So, last line of the purport. Such a chaste devotee also never asks the Lord for help. Okay, so devotee never asks Lord for the help. But the Lord, out of his own accord, is always anxious to render it, means to help the devotee. Okay, so now questions are, what are the devotees in difficulty? From our Shastra, whatever that we are reading.
Sudama.
Okay, Sudama is
Krishna.
one.
Draupadi.
Yes, Draupadi also prayed not for herself. Okay, next. Yes, Abha. Gajendra, yes, Gajendra. Yes, very nice. Any? Huh? Yes, Prahlad Maharaj. Prahlad Maharaj was never praying, help me. No, he was just chanting. But he never said, Prabhu, what is this? This is so much trouble. Please help me. I'm always remembering my 5-year-old, a 5-year boy. How can you do it to me? He never said that. Right? Okay. Amrish Maharaj, yes, this is very good example. In Amrish Maharaj case, Amrish Maharaj did not pray. When the fire demon was invoked by Durvas Muni, he said, okay, no problem. Sudarshan Chakra came. And what happened to Durvas Muni? He went all over the world for help. So please help me. Lord Shiva, Brahmaji, please help me. Vishnu, please help me. I can't help. Please go back. Ask for forgiveness. That's how it is. He never asked. And Durvas Muni is renounced. Where Amrish Maharaj is Grihastha. He's like a king. He's got opulent dresses and he changes dress probably 3-4 times a day. He's not worried I will lose anything. But Durvas Muni had nothing to lose, but still he was worried. And he went from door to door. So this is how the devotee. Yes, very nice. Other examples? Kunti Maharani also prays. Yes. Any other example? From our parampara, we can talk about. Yes, Srila Prabhupada, yeah, absolutely. He went through so much. But he never said, Krishna, what is this? He only said, Krishna, if you want to make me dance like a puppet, please. Nachao, nachao, nachao se maar. Whatever you want. This is your body. You take care of it. I don't care. Sanatana Goswami, like, yeah, he had got boils and all that on his boils and he was walking on the sand, but he never expressed, and please, Mahaprabhu, what is this? I'm your devotee and what is happening to me? Nothing of that sort. Yes, very nice.
Prabhuji, I was thinking of Maharaj, Radhanath Swami Maharaj, and Jayapataka Swami Maharaj.
Yeah, they all going, they went through so much pain, but still they are not asking, why have you put me in this condition? Not that question. Jayapataka Swami Maharaj is here in Dallas. He's landed in Los Angeles and he'll be there in Dallas today, I think. Today or tomorrow. He's traveling at this condition. If you have this condition, he'll say, boss, I will stay in one place and let me give some facility. That's it. I will just chant, right? Not traveling, he's traveling, preaching, initiating. So much he's doing. In fact, he just got Bhakti Vaibhav completed. Very recently, he got Bhakti Vaibhav degree. Because he's telling everybody to do Bhakti Vaibhav, means studying BHagavatam systematically. He himself got Bhakti Vaibhav. Now, he doesn't need it, but he just do it to show that I am also studying, you also study, just to bring little sincere. This is how, you know, our parampara is. Okay,
There is a Prabhuji, one Acharya who was in hospital and somebody's hand in hand.
in hospital,
Cancer.
No, that was in Gita Nagari, that Bhakti Tirth Maharaj. Not Bhakti Tirth Swami Maharaj, yeah. Yes. Yeah, he was saying, I will not exchange this condition with anybody else, anything else.
Something, yeah, yes.
Bhakti Tirth Maharaj was, he had cancer and his one leg was amputated. He was in so much pain. And he had all, if you see his last pictures, he's like a skin, just a bone covered with skin. That's how he looks. But he says, even in this condition, I will not exchange my position with anything else. Because where can I get association of devotee? I'm leaving my body. I have association of devotees. People are chanting. People are reading Srimad Bhagavatam. Where can I get this condition? It is better to die like this than dying in very, 5-star hospitals where doctor and nurses are taking care of you and you are given some pain medications. No. Kadam Kanan Maharaj, recently he left this world and went back to Godhead. He did not take any medicine. He did not went through any procedure for a colon cancer. So these are all Mahabhagavad. They don't pray that take away this pain. No, they don't. So lot to learn from this. There are many such examples. Here, we talked about Sudama, we talked about Srila Prabhupada, and then there's Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur was beaten in 22 marketplace. And he was not saying, Mahaprabhu, what is it? I'm chanting and you are still let me beat up like this. He was in fact praying for those who are beating him. He said, please, please forgive them. Then Kolavicha Sridhar on the top, banana seller. Mahaprabhu is ready to send him to Vaikuntha and everything. He said, no, I don't want it. No help. Then Jad Bharat. Jad Bharat was taken to be as a Narabali. He was to be, given to Kali Mata. And he said, okay, that's fine. If Krishna wants me to become Narabali, I'll find. Kali Murti comes a real Kali. And he kills all the demons, all the miscreants. So this is the power of all these things. Then other thing we talked about, the fruit vendor. She did not expect anything from Krishna. And Krishna probably gave her a few grains, like, okay, take this. A small boy, how much he can give. But she gave a whole basket. Okay, please take all the fruits. And what did Krishna give her in return? She did not expect anything. Krishna filled her basket with all the jewels. Ranti Dev was, hungry for 48 days. Then finally got something. And all the Lord Shiva, Lord Vishnu, and Lord Brahma came to test him. And he gave everything to all of them. They don't ask why they are coming. I am hungry. Even dog came, he gave it to dog. He gave, everybody he gave it to. So this is how when we do it, Krishna will protect us. So we should always, we can pray for what we can pray. What we should pray.
What he wishes us to have.
Huh? Sorry, Guru?
What Krishna wishes us to have.
Yes, whatever. As you desire. In order, all our prayers, we should say as you desire. If you think that I have to go through this pain, that's fine. I will go through it. We never complain that why I am in this condition. Right? We always, normally our prayers are, why me when there are problems? When we get rewards, we never say that, why me? Isn't it? That's how it is. So let's pray to Srila Prabhupada that we get this understanding that he's writing such wonderful purports, but we need to now implement them in our life. That is our goal. When we read this, the changes will only come when we implement these in our life. Otherwise, it will be just remain as oh, nice. Prabhupada mentioned very nice. We saw some nice slides and all those stuff. The changes will not come. Because we saw the power of the Nam Japak, right? How powerful the Nam Jap chanting is. It's so powerful. So therefore, we should always chant very sincerely, very prayerful mood. Very prayerful mood we should chant. Become very sincere in our sadhana, fixed in our sadhana. Every day, without missing, we should do it. Someday maybe we are up and down, but the day should never go without chanting. A day should never go without chanting. Every day we have to chant our prescribed round, whatever vow that we have taken. 1 round, 4 round, 16 round, whatever it is. We have to do it very sincerely. Okay. So thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Granth Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Gaur Bhaktavind ki
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Avnish and Sandeep Prabhu for joining.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you very much. So we'll stop here. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.